Hello, and welcome to another flight review. If you're new here, my name is Jet, and today I'm flying with Singapore Airlines and their business class product on board an A350 from Singapore to Seattle. Checking in here at Changi was quick and easy with a dedicated business class queue and two friendly agents eager to help. Once checked in, it was time to go through passport control, which is fully automated here at Changi. And after passport control, you're welcome to the central part of Terminal 3. Terminal 3 features all your usual luxury boutiques and more, along with a good selection of food and snack options. There are also a few different lounges available, but when flying in business class with Singapore Airlines, you're given access to their SilverKris Lounge, which we're going to check out right now. At the entrance, a friendly agent checks your boarding pass and welcomes you in. Once inside, you'll immediately notice the size. At almost 3,000 square meters, this lounge is on the larger side with plenty of seating and workspace available. The SilverKris Lounge does feature showers, which you can reserve upon entering, or you can just walk up to the attendant and check availability. As far as food goes, I was here in the early morning, so there was a fruit and cereal station set up with regular dairy and oat milk, along with a made-to-order laksa and mee rebus station. Next to that, there was a large serve-yourself buffet area with a variety of South and Southeast Asian foods, along with a nice selection of dim sum. And at the end of the buffet, you'll find a Western breakfast station with hash browns, eggs, bacon, butter, all the usual. There was also a small self-serve beverage bar, but I don't really drink alcohol, so it didn't really matter to me. Just outside the SilverKris Lounge, Singapore Airlines has this relatively new Batik Wall, which is beautiful and definitely worth a moment of your time. After hanging out in the lounge for a couple of hours, it was time to head to my gate. Changi performs security screenings at each individual boarding gate instead of when entering the terminal, so just be sure to purchase anything you may need for your flight prior to heading to your boarding gate. And here's my gate for today's flight, B7. The boarding area has plenty of seating, and there's also a water bottle fill station. There was no toilet in the boarding area, so just keep that in mind before going through security. Today's aircraft is a 1-year-old Airbus A350-900 with registration 9V-SJE. Boarding started without an announcement, which did make it a bit unorganized, but nonetheless, we all managed to get on the plane. And here we are on board Singapore Airlines long-haul A350 configuration. My seat for today's flight is 19A, a bulkhead seat in the second, smaller section of the business class cabin. Already at my seat was a very large, fluffy pillow, but no amenity kit. Taking a look at the rest of the seat, underneath this cover is a universal power outlet, along with a USB outlet. Above that, there's a reading lamp with 2 brightness settings. Down here, you'll find a remote for the IFE, and below that, a smaller storage compartment with a bad spring that houses your noise-canceling headphones and a bottle of water. Of course, there's a literature pocket. And at the bulkhead, you also get this additional vanity mirror. An added bonus of the bulkhead seat is this little bench, which definitely helps your seat feel more like a bed when you're sleeping. The boarding door closed right on time, and we started our pushback for our 13-hour and 23-minute flight to Seattle. The first meal service started shortly after takeoff, but before that, let's take a quick look at the menu. I was originally booked in premium economy, but upgraded to business within 24 hours of departure, so was unable to book the chef or pre-order any special meals. The flight attendants tried to accommodate as best they could and filled any gaps in service there may have been because of my dietary restrictions. Lunch kicked off with an appetizer, which was a sesame crab mayonnaise salad with grilled egg and pickled ginger, some bread, and a butter. I also ordered a Singapore sling because why not? And look, even the stir stick is branded. I really love when airlines pay attention to small details like this. I didn't really know what to expect with the appetizer, but I ended up loving it. The egg was like a Japanese omelet or the egg you get with sushi sometimes. The crab and mayo salad was basically the inside of a California roll, so overall this was a great start to the meal. A variety of hot bread was also available with lunch, and there was never a shortage. Our chief stew was sure to be up and down the aisles multiple times, making sure everyone had as much bread as they wanted. For my main, it was a breaded whitefish with some out-of-focus potatoes and veggies. This was actually a premium economy meal as there were no fish options left on the main menu. The fish was still very soft and well cooked, and again, I appreciate the crew's creativity and problem solving. For dessert, I opted for the pistachio cake with sour cherry and almond crumble. It was served with a mixed berry compote, which was perfect since the crumble itself was a little bit dry, but overall this was a great end to the meal and I ate it all. After lunch, I was ready to try and sleep for as much of this 13-hour flight as I could. Singapore Airlines business class seats fold forward to create a fully flat bed. The crew does offer a turn-down service, and along with a mattress pad, you get some additional pillows and a thick blanket. I highly recommend the bulkhead seat as it gives you a good amount of extra room for your feet while you sleep. 19A will definitely be my go-to seat on this configuration. After a few hours of sleep, it was already time for the second meal service. I got a bag of nuts and some juice for my starter as the main option was chicken satay, which I couldn't eat. Next up was a focaccia and salmon sandwich, which was actually an item from the anytime menu, but again, appreciate the crew trying to fill any gaps with whatever they could. Along with that, there was more bread available. I got this little thing, and I'm not sure what kind of bread it is, but honestly it was so good. I wish I recorded how flaky it was. For my second main, I had a local dish called mee siam goreng, which is Malay spiced vermicelli and a tamarind gravy with a mix of seafood, egg, and fresh lime. It was delicious, and I love when airlines offer local dishes on board. The meal service wrapped up with a cup of fresh fruit along with a fig bread pudding. The bread pudding was very soft and delicious, and the fruit was fresh, which is great for these longer flights. After the second meal service, we still had about 5 hours of flight time left to go, but before I knew it, we had already started our descent into Seattle. Overall, I had an amazing experience with Singapore Airlines. The crew is exceptional, and like I said prior, I really appreciated how accommodating they were. They were never bothered or annoyed with my dietary restrictions. They were beyond attentive and always present. Something I will critique is the service timing on these longer Singapore flights. The first meal is served quickly after takeoff, which is great, but the second meal is served only a few hours after that. This doesn't leave too much time between the two meals, and I experienced the same thing on my inbound flight to Singapore in economy. I appreciate the hot meals, of course, but this does interrupt any long stretches of sleep you'd hope to get. As far as the on-the-ground experience goes, Changi is a great airport. Check-in was a breeze, and the SilverKris Lounge was beautiful and spacious. There was an amazing selection of food, and I appreciate the lounge having everything you need. Nothing more and nothing less. I know Singapore Airlines often always gets props, but based on my experience, they really do deserve the kudos. Their hard product definitely isn't the newest, but it was still extremely comfortable and had everything I needed for my flight. The crew was amazing, and I definitely think their exceptional service covers up any faults you may find. I certainly wouldn't hesitate flying Singapore Airlines again in the future.
Welcome to Seattle, ladies and gentlemen. Please remain seated with a seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign is off. Please take care when opening the overhead compartments, and remember to take all your belongings with you. It's been our pleasure serving you on this flight. Thank you for flying Singapore Airlines, a member of Star Alliance.
Thank you so much for watching my flight review. I have several more videos in the backlog, so be sure you're subscribed and follow me on Instagram to stay up to date with my travels. And yeah, turn the notification button on and hope to post at least one video a month in 2023. Thank you so much.